guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing a celebrity inspired makeup look. I was just scrolling through pictures and I came across this picture of Kendall Jenner and she looked stunning in it. I was so obsessed with her makeup in this look. It's just very glowy and fresh and very girly. I loved how girly it was, but yet it's very glam. So I wanted to recreate this look for you guys. I did put a little bit of twist to it just to make it my own and make it work for me. I am not trying to look like Kendall Jenner one bit. I mean, come on. I look nothing like her. Nothing. It's just that her makeup in that picture inspired me to want to recreate it on myself. If you want to see how I recreated this Kendall Jenner look, then just keep watching. Hey guys, so don't mind my messiness to me right now. I have a hair treatment in right now just while I'm getting ready. I figured I'd have my treatment just sit for a little while, but I also am not naked. I just wanted to have like a very glowy, dewy appearance, so I wanted to really like glow up my chest as well, so that's why I decided to wear a strapless. So I do have a fresh base. I have a very clean face. I also prepped my skin. I knew I was going to be doing a very radiant look today, so last night I did the Sephora Pearl Mask, which is perfecting and brightening. So I wanted to do a really nice mask to give my face a lot of moisture and brightness. And then I washed it this morning and applied my moisturizer, eye cream, everything like that. So my face is very prepped for this look. So first I am going to prime my face. I'm just going to use a little bit of the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. And then since I do want this look to be very radiant, I am going to also go in with my First Aid Beauty Coconut Skin Smoothie Primer Moisturizer. And this is a moisturizer that's used as a primer that has a lot of glow to it. It makes the skin look very radiant. So I am going to apply some of my Makeup Forever Smoothing Primer. I'm really going to just focus this in the areas where I have the most pores. So in my like nose area, and then I am going to just smooth the rest of it through the T-zone, but I'm really focusing it more in this area just because I want all of my pores to be really smooth. And since this look is a very light look, I am going to do my foundation first. I am going to be using the L'Oreal Pro Glow foundation. I'm in the shade 201. I am going to put this on the back of my hand. I'm going to apply it with a beauty blender, but before I do that, I am going to mix in a little bit of the Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops. This is in the shade Moonlight. So I'm just going to put, I would say, like 2 drops in this, just because this is a glowy foundation already, so I don't want to put too much in it, but I just want to add a little bit more glow. And then I am going to use some of my Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector, just a little bit. I'm going to use this on a Morphe G38 brush. And I'm just going to apply this underneath of the eyes because I do want my under eye to be very bright. And the trick with this product, I've heard a lot of people say that this product is like way too heavy for their under eyes. A little goes a very long way with this product. The more you use, the worse it's going to look. So you really don't want to use a lot of this product. I like lightly will just tap it a few times and that's all I use. Since I did blend it out with a brush, this isn't really super necessary, but sometimes I will just go back in with my beauty blender and just lightly dab it just to make sure that there isn't like any extra product just sitting there. And then for concealer today, I am going to be using the Tarte Shape Tape just because I want this to be a fuller coverage face, even though I want it to be very glowy and fresh. The foundation that I used is not a full coverage foundation, so I am going to use a little bit of a heavier concealer, but still using it to a minimal. I'm not going to apply too much. I really will wipe a lot of the excess off at the top of the Shape Tape just because a lot comes off on this dofa at a time. So since I am going to go for that eye look, I am going to be using a liquid base before I apply my eyeshadow. So I am not putting any concealer or powder, anything on my eyelids. Usually I would just use concealer to prep my eyes for eyeshadow, but since I'm going to go in with the liquid eyeshadow first, I want my eyelids to be very bare. And then even though we are already pretty glowy, I am going to just put a little bit of this NYX illuminator. This is in the shade Sunbeam. It's a very like light pinky champagne color, and I'm just going to dab it on my cheekbones. Nothing too crazy, just to add a little bit more dew to the face. And I've learned over time with playing with these NYX illuminators, they are blended out the best with your finger. The Beauty Blender, I feel like, kind of just picks up the product and then the product's just kind of gone. And I don't feel like it's as intense when you use the Beauty Blender. And then now we are going to set our under eyes. I am going to be using the Kat Von D Lock-It powder in the shade Petal. This is a very brightening powder. This is something that I had mentioned in my haul that I just did. The only thing that I'm not 100% about this powder is it is so messy. It's unreal. It is so messy. And I'm also going to use this to lightly set everywhere else that we had put that concealer. So as you guys can see, I do have my eyelash extensions back. Thank God, so we don't have to worry about putting on falsies today. But I am going to be using a Maybelline Color Tattoo to prep my eyelids. This is in the shade Gilded Rose. I'm going to be applying this with a brush rather than the doe foot applicator, just because I want this to be really blended out and really buffed. So I am going in with a Morphe E22, and I am going to buff it into the crease. I'm taking it all the way into the inner corner and all the way out to the outer edges. I am going to just apply a crease shade. I'm going to go in with a little bit of MAC Soft Brown, and this is a Morphe M433 brush. And I am applying most of the product to the outer edge of the crease, just really staying away from that inner corner. And then I do want it to be very buffed out, so I'm going to go in with the M502 brush from Morphe. It's just a clean brush. There's no product on it at all, and I'm just going to really buff out this crease. I'm going to go in with the shade Bouquet Toss. This is from ColourPop. And I'm going to take a little bit of Gleam from MAC. It's a little bit more of like a goldy champagne, and apply this all over the lid. So I do want to go back in and define the crease just a little bit more. So I'm going to take some of that soft brown again. Just from buffing it, I feel like I lost some of that dimension. And in this picture, she has a very, very natural feathered eyebrows. So I am only going to be filling in like my sparse areas. I'm not going to do a full like bold eyebrow. I'm going to be using the Makeup Forever Pro Bronze Fusion. This is in the shade 15i. And she is very bronzed in this look, so I am going to go a little heavy with the bronzer. I'm going to use my RCMA No Color powder, and I'm going to kind of carve out my cheekbones. I just want to clean up where I feel like I got like a little messy. I'm going to go very light-handed on the blush because I still want to have the main focus be on the bronze. So I'm going in with Becca Flower Child, and I'm going to just apply a little bit of this. And then I'm going to use my Duo Fiber brush to buff all of this together. And then I'm also going to go over the bronzer and the blush just to buff everything. I'm going to use the Morphe Prep and Set. This is new from Morphe. I'm obsessed with this. It's an aerosol can, so it comes out like a perfect spritz compared to like how the Smashbox is like a pump. This is an aerosol, so it comes out a lot nicer. I want my highlighter to beam. And I'm gonna go in first with the MAC Soft and Gentle. This highlighter, you guys know, is one of my favorites. I just love how it gives the skin that wet finish rather than it being super glittery and chunky. It's just very dewy and wet. So I'm gonna go in with Pearl from Becca and just apply it to the highest point of my cheekbone. I'm going to take some of that soft brown and just smoke it. And you can tell that in this picture, underneath of her eyes where she has it smoked out is not matte. Like, you can tell that there is a little bit of shimmer to it. So I'm going to take the Pep Talk from ColourPop again and just kind of smoke it out in there. And then I am going to touch my inner corners with MAC Shroom just to make them pop a little bit more. And then I'm also going to use MAC Shroom to highlight my brow bone. I'm just looking at my eyes and I think I want to smoke it a little bit more, like on my outer edge. So I'm going to go in with Cloud 9 from ColourPop, and this is an M432, like a flat definer brush. And I'm just going to put this on the outer edge of my lash line. And then I just am like kind of smudging it to the lower lash line as well. Now I am going to set my brows, and I'm going to swipe all of the hair straight up and then just kind of wipe down the tail. And then I'm going to use my Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara. And since I do have my extensions back, I am not going to really coat them. I'm just going to kind of touch the edges of them to make sure that they're still black, just because powder can fall down and make them appear a little lighter. I'm going to apply it to the lower lashes as well. And then I did just get a little bit of mascara on the inner corner, of course. So if you guys don't know what the trick to do with that is, just let it be. Do not touch it. Don't touch it. Let it dry completely and then take a Q-tip and it will just flake right off. In this picture, she has a very like clear lip gloss on. It has a little bit of a pinky undertone, but this is the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Eclair. Okay, so I am just going to finish getting ready and I will be right back. So that is the finished look. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. This was a different type of tutorial for me. I know I've never done a celebrity inspired look here on my channel before, so I wanted to do one, and why not do the beautiful Kendall Jenner? If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you guys in my next tutorial. Bye. Mwah!